So you want to hear a story, huh?
Well, I'll tell you a story then. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Borderlands 4. Now, Borderlands 4, the teaser has just been revealed and the game is actually available for wishlisting on the PlayStation Store. So the Borderlands series is probably my favorite game series out there, and I've played all of them for many hundreds of hours. So in this video here, I'll go through the top 5 things I think we're missing from the latest Borderlands games, and I hope it'll be part of Borderlands 4. So Borderlands 3 did a lot of things right. Now it's still not as good as Borderlands 2, but it's really close. And if Borderlands 4 wants to be the ultimate Borderlands game, I think it needs to correct these 5 missing features here. Alright, so the first feature I think Borderlands 4 needs to include is something that the players have been asking for pretty much since Borderlands 1, and it is a true open world environment. Now, it's not super necessary, the game works without it, obviously, because it's a fantastic game, but I think it would be the crowning achievement if Gearbox were able to, trick the Unreal Engine into actually running this game as a full open world experience without any loading screens. Because there are quite a bit of loading in Borderlands, any of the games really, and these days it feels a little bit old. Now it's not a game-breaking thing at all, and it's something we can all live with, especially with the faster SSD drives these days. You don't have to wait, a minute like in the old days. But it is still a nuisance, and it would really dress the game up in a better suit, so to speak, if there were no loading times or very limited loading times. Now, technically, it's probably a bit of a problem, considering the current engine that all the Borderlands games run on, but it would be something that would be, welcomed with open arms by the players. So next up on my wish list are more class mods and also more slots for class mods. Now, I would like Borderlands 4 to be more like Diablo or, a role-playing game where you have far more opportunities to actually tailor your character exactly the way you like it. Now, one class mod is fine, but I would prefer 10, say, and perhaps even an ability to, deck out your character in the same way as Diablo does, with, shorts and boots and hats and stuff like that, each with different buffs and abilities. So the next thing I personally would really like to have in Borderlands 4, and we were so close to getting it fully fledged in Borderlands 3, is the ability to customize your guns, not just customize, but to build your own guns out of the gun parts that are already available in the game and are already implemented in Borderlands 3. Now the system is there, like I said, in Borderlands 3, like each gun you have the barrel, the trigger, the bolt, foregrip, stock and so on. And you can get better gun parts as you progress, but this feature isn't as fleshed out as I want it to be. Now I want to fully control my, for example, which magazine I can attach to my gun, and I want to be able to improve that gun part as well. So for example, say you have a magazine, okay, yeah, so you switch between 3 or 4 magazines, that's cool, that's pretty much what you can do now, but I want total freedom, right? So and I also want more customization. So for example, that magazine should have slots, just like in Diablo. I keep comparing to Diablo, but it is a looter game, right? So say you have a magazine with slots where you can, add in, let's just call them gems to make it easy. So add in like a gem that increases your, ammo capacity, and a gem that lowers the weight or whatever, it doesn't really matter. And that would of course just be the beginning of it. So in the end, that would mean that you would be able to craft a gun that's exactly yours, like no one else has it. And you will be able to modify every little tiny detail of your gun. If you want to go full on fire damage, you do that, right? You build a gun specifically for that. Now, I like to find new guns all the time in Borderlands. That's what keeps you know, the gameplay going, right? But it would be just as interesting to find new gun parts in the game, meaning that you don't have to always discard a gun when you find something better. So sometimes I get attached to my guns, right, and I kind of want to keep them, but at some point they just don't work anymore. They don't do the damage they should, right? So this way you'll be able to upgrade your gun and keep the same gun, maybe for the whole game if you really want to, right? So that's something I think is missing, and hopefully they will add that in Borderlands 4. So the next thing I want to talk about is a feature that's again already in the game, is just not fleshed out enough yet, and that is surfaces. Now this is in the game, you can create frost surfaces, which is fun, it's great fun, but I want you as the player to be able to combine surfaces, like steal a little bit from the Divinity and Baldur's Gate 3 games and add that to Borderlands 4. So you'll be able to have grenades and guns that create different surfaces that will then interact with each other and then again create a whole new action. I mean, that would create some, you know, unknown gameplay, and I think it would be good for the game. It would also be very, very useful for setting up traps and the like. And you could, for example, have a whole class in the game that does nothing but to specialize in surfaces and elements. So the reason I bring this up is because Borderlands is a looter shooter, right? At least that's what it calls itself. And it's got the shooting part down, definitely. The looting part is also there, but as it is a looter shooter, it borrows a few things from the RPG genre, and there is a little bit missing there. And I think one thing that would really finish this game into a 100% would be to add surfaces. Now I know you cannot really add spells or magic into this game just like they did in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, so I think more of a focus on surfaces would kind of bridge that gap between pure run and gun, and perhaps grenades and just some other thing that you can use to do damage. So those were my top 5 suggestions for inclusion in Borderlands 4. And like I said in the beginning of the video, Borderlands 4 is now official. It is happening and it is being released in 2025. So, you know, we could be playing Borderlands 4 in less than a year, which I think is plausible. So I'm really excited, and of course lots of Borderlands 4 and Borderlands 3 for that matter content coming on the channel. So don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy that. And just in the end here, if you want to register your interest for Borderlands 4, you can do so on the PlayStation Store. So don't forget to do that if you want to, you know, wishlist the game. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you out there.